Yay! Hello, everyone. I'll just give everyone a few minutes to jump on. I'm a few minutes late. I was just doing some quick research because Sue's just sprung a question on me. How has everybody's week been? I hope everyone's week has been amazing. Okay. Hey, whoever's just logged on. I'm just going through and inviting everyone. Let me know who's logged on. Okay. Okay. Yay. Hey, Amanda. So I had a question earlier. Suze wants to chat about perfume roller blends. No pressure. So I've just pulled up a really beautiful article that I can share with you guys. So I am here to answer any questions. So what I thought I would do was maybe jump in and cover off some of my favorite items outside of the Home Essentials kit. So we have so many new people to this beautiful tribe, which warms my heart. So I thought that might be a nice thing to do. And it was actually a question that came up in one of the other groups I was in around, you know, kind of what's next. So those, while I might talk about some other items, what I will share is that those 10 oils that make up the Home Essentials kit, they are definitely my daily essentials. Now, not every single one of them, but at the moment, I would come pretty close to using nearly every single one of those oils every single day. That's why they're called the Home Essentials kit. So our, you know, people call them the nerd herd. So we have a team of scientists and aromatic scientists and, you know, who kind of get together and design our blends and put our oils together. So they're called the nerd herd. They're not just like, oh, this smells nice. They're put together to produce therapeutic benefits to the body. So sometimes when I know, I think Amy popped up a question yesterday about saying she didn't like peace. She found it too strong. And I asked the question, do you not like the smell or is it too strong? Because they're different. So sometimes we can open up a bottle of oil and we go, oh, so I always say to people, always go back to it, have a few more whiffs, and just have a sink into maybe why it's repelling you. Is it just that you don't like the smell of it? Like sometimes people smell stuff like this is On Guard, for example. This was an oil that I didn't like when I first got it because I was like, oh, it's real stinky. But I know what it does for my body now. It's the same with Digestin. It's not a smell that I love, but I use it because I know how amazing it is for my body. Versus how strong it is. So for me, past tense, I can't get it any further than this. It's really strong. So it's a pure oil that's made in a roller. You need to dilute it. So I always tell people like three to four rollers even, you could go with that. It is quite strong. But once it's diluted down, I love it. And I love to roll it out along my neck. It's great for headaches. So just, you know, do whatever feels right. But just sink into, is it the strength versus is it the aroma? Remembering that when we smell something, it goes in through our olfactory system and it's connected directly to the part of the brain that stores our memories. So when we smell something, it's linked. So it takes us back to a different place. Okay, so what I thought I might do is just share with you some of my favorite products. Now, some of these have come up recently. One of them is Rose. It is an oil that lives in my handbag and I use it all the time. It's actually in my handbag. I didn't even go get it. I've been traveling a lot lately, as you know, and I've found that my skin has been quite dehydrated. And sometimes my vibes are not maybe as high as I would like. So I quite often, as I was driving, would roll it under my eyes and just kind of massage it in. And I would always kind of put it on my kind of third eye chakra. And so for me, it was like as soon as I put it on, my spirits were lifted. I've even been rolling it around my tummy at some points. So that's one of my, it's top of the list at the moment. The kit that I always talk to people about as like the next thing after the Home Essentials kit is always the mood kit. So we have a kit called the Mood Management Kit, and I actually have some specific online classes around mood management. And I'd love to hear from you guys if you love some more classes, because I've been, probably with Diamond Club, I've been a bit slack on my classes. Like online classes and videos and things, but I do need to get back into them. I've been trying. So, hey Shona. Honey, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. So this is the mood kit. So the mood kit is 4 oils. Oh God, this is not working. So the mood kit includes 2 calming, supportive oils. So that's lavender peace. So lavender peace is a really beautiful alternative for people who don't like plain lavender. It has a very, very sweet aroma to it. It's a blend. Beautiful, thanks babe. It's a really beautiful blend of lavender, cedarwood, hoe wood, ylang ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, Hawaiian sandalwood, and vanilla. So it's got some really kind of earthy tones in there in terms of the cedarwood and the vetiver and the sandalwood and the hoe wood. So there's a few oils in here that are in balance. Then you've got your chamomile, your ylang ylang. I love marjoram for sleep. So this is quite beautiful. It's not an oil that I use a lot of for myself. I use it a lot for my son, but I go through fads where I might use it every night for a week and then I just go back to normal lavender. I love normal lavender. I've got a funny story actually. I was at a class on the weekend and one of the beautiful girls, her mother-in-law came. And as soon as I walked in, she was like, oh my God, what's this smell? I hate smells. I can't stand them. I get headaches. And I was thinking, oh my good gosh, what is this woman doing in an oils class? Anyway, she told me she didn't like lavender and she couldn't stand it. So we kept away from the lavender. But she had a headache. So I was determined to try and give her something to help the headache. So I gave her some ice blue and she rolled a little bit of that on her temples and behind her neck. Now, funny story. When we passed the lavender around, we actually skipped her. But I gave her the lavender piece and I said, bear with me, just have a smell of the lavender piece. I'm not kidding. She kept the bottle for the entire class and she didn't open it. She opened it once to have a smell and she put the lid back on. She actually sat for the entire class just doing this, Nilly. She just kept bringing it back to her nose. By the end of the class, her headache had gone. How incredible is that? And she hates lavender. So just those additional kind of soft calming tones and the hint of vanilla. And in fact, the girl whose class I was running, her boyfriend hates lavender. He also hates digestion. But he actually had a smell of this and he was like, yeah, that's okay. I could tolerate that. So this is a really beautiful alternative. It's called the Restful / Calming Blend. So it's a really beautiful oil to diffuse, as is Balance. We might talk about them sort of together. So Balance is the other calming oil in the kit. It is blue / green in colour. You can see it in the bottle. It's quite dark. So that's the blue tansy that's in it. It's also got blue chamomile, spruce, hoewood, osmanthus. So both of these oils are incredible to use together. You'll see a lot of really calming rollerball blends, maybe that people sell on the internet. That's what it is, these two together with additional vetiver. So of an afternoon when the kids get home from school, of an afternoon when you get home and you're feeling a little bit cray-cray, of an evening when you're trying to unwind, these are really beautiful options to pop in your diffuser, maybe even to just pop on your temples. I've actually, I diffuse oils in my son's room every single night, but as he's getting a little bit older, it's getting a little bit hard for him to unwind when he goes to bed. We don't do any TV from the moment that he goes to the shower. It turns off. We have a long shower, we read books, we get into pajamas, and then, you know, we normally, he does bed and he has a bottle and stuff. But I've noticed in the last few nights I've actually been rubbing some oils here on his temples, and it's made a big difference to the length of time that he's kind of talking. So he's able to calm a lot quickly, which is what I find for myself. Balance is one of my favorite oils to use for sleep. So I guess in the Home Essentials kit, you're a little bit limited. You've got lavender and you've got frankincense, and they're great together. Probably a lot of you got a free bottle of wild orange, a small bottle. So that's a really great one to use for sleep too. My favorite is to use Balance and orange. I love adding other oils like marjoram, lavender, frankincense, lavender peace and balance, lavender peace, balance and orange. Like, you can literally do any combination. Some nights I just, you know, put a few drops in. So if you have anxiety, if you suffer depression, if you don't have great sleep, if you are a person that kind of lives in your fight or flight response, if you're very reactive, they're going to be your best keepers. If you have children with special needs, if you're a teacher, these are amazing to pop in a spritzer bottle. I have one in my son's room. It's Balance and Wild Orange. It's called Monster Juice. You'll see recipes on the internet for Monster Juice. It's Balance and Wild Orange in a spritzer bottle. Yeah, I know I made some for Shona when I was at her house, and it's so beautiful. So Wild Orange, people think that Wild Orange is invigorating, as in it keeps you awake, and it's not. So I like to describe my citrus oils as uplifting, which means they're happy oils. It doesn't mean they're going to keep you awake. So they're actually quite calming to the nervous system. So when you add them with something like Balance or lavender or frankincense, something that kind of is even more grounding and calming, they're perfect. So bergamot, wild orange, they're both really beautiful oils to use for sleep and anxiety. Some people love to use grapefruit. Kind of a bit of trial and error. I like to keep my grapefruit and tangerine and those sorts of special ones more for body massages and baths and perfumes and things like that. So I tend not to put them in, you know, my sleep stuff, but I do use my wild orange a lot. So that's 2 of the 4 from the mood kit. The other 2 are uplifting oils. So you get 2 calming oils and 2 uplifting oils. So the other 2 are Citrus Bliss and Elevation. Now these are really beautiful. So Citrus Bliss is literally like a citrus bomb. I actually didn't like this when I first got it. I was like, oh, I felt like it was too much. Too many citruses at once. And now it's like, oh, I could eat all. I could eat it. In fact, this is I'm just seeing what's on the back. So orange, lemon, grapefruit, mandarin, bergamot, tangerine, clementine, and vanilla. It's so good. This is my favorite to massage on your body. So you want a good squirt of body cream or fractionated coconut oil. My favorite is to dress myself every single morning with Balance. And then I normally add a citrus oil. So sometimes it's citrus bliss, sometimes it's wild orange, and sometimes it's grapefruit. They're just my go-tos. But I normally put like 3 drops of Balance and 2 drops of citrus bliss. This is actually really nice to wear on its own. And then you want to massage all over your body, rub in, repeat some really beautiful, loving affirmations about your body. This is really nice to use as a perfume. Interesting, because Sue's asked about how to make perfumes. So simple. You can buy little tiny spritzer bottles like this that you can obviously make yourself a body mist. I personally like the rollers because I can actually roll it on my skin and it's going to sink in more. So when you spritz, it's just a quick inhalation. It's not going to make you necessarily smell like that. But I do like the feeling of using a spritzer. So you want to judge. Hey, whoever's logging on, give me a love heart or something so I know who's watching. You just want to judge. You might want to start with 10 drops and then add more. You want the aroma that kind of smells right for you. So you could pop, 10 to 20 drops of citrus bliss in a roller, and that's a perfume. So beautiful on its own. I actually like Elevation as a perfume. I tend to just use it neat on my body, to be honest. I just drip a little bit over me and kind of rub it in. I haven't used it in a while. Now, I'm quite connected with kind of my body and how it makes me feel. Hey, Shellbell. So when I inhale Elevation, like I could actually literally just feel my cells turn on. I could feel them come alive. I don't know if that makes sense to people. Does that sound weird? Yeah, it's good. It's really good. My favorite, I used to love wearing Passion with Elevation, especially on a Monday when I was really struggling to be at work. I'm kind of in a place where I'm actually really happy to be at work at the moment. So they are really beautiful kind of perfumes. I mean, it's the mood management kit, so popping them in your diffuser. Shelley, I'm dying to hear how your new oils arrived and whether you've been using them and are you loving them. A couple of other oils that are my fave. One is Terra Armour. So this is our outdoor blend, repellent blend, if you like. So I get a spritzer bottle and I, depending on the size, I'd probably put 20 odd drops in here. And I'd fill it with coconut oil. I might put a little bit more depending. And then that's your spray, bug spray. So then you want to spritz that over particularly your ankles, your knees, wherever you get bit, your elbows. Some people say, oh, can't you just use water? But it doesn't soak into your skin. You're better off with the coconut oil. Obviously, you can just put a few drops of that in your hand and just chuck some coconut oil in your hand and rub over. And that's what I do when if I go to my dad's or something, I just tend to take my bottle with me. We're just coming out of mozzie season. So if in 3 months' time, I probably won't list this as one of my favorite oils, but this has saved me this summer. I didn't have it last summer, so it's been a godsend. One of my other faves that I use a lot of is spearmint. I personally am not a fan of peppermint. Like, it's not like I don't smell it and I'm like, oh, spearmint does that to me. So I love peppermint in my food. I love it in my chocolate. It's the bomb diggity. But in my diffuser, I love spearmint in place of peppermint. So spearmint and lemon, spearmint and orange especially, of a morning. So good. My other faves. Jasmine and neroli. These two oils are a woman's delight. So jasmine is the oil of sexual purity. Oh, let me check what neroli's is actually. We might go through some tools actually on our phones. Shona, elevation is my all-time favorite. From the moment you showed it to me, makes all my troubles melt away. Yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm so pleased to hear that, honey. Coconut oil and water, or just plain coconut oil for bug spray? Neroli. So neroli is the oil of shared purpose and partnership. It's particularly helpful for calming troubled hearts in relationship conflict. Its influence promotes harmony in the changing dynamics of long-term relationships. Ongoing partnerships require acceptance and growth. Neroli assists with the positive evolution of sexual intimacy between individuals who have been together long enough to experience significant contrast in their relationship. Symbolizes the fleeting beauty of spring blossoms and honors the long-lasting creation cycle in the life of the tree. It aids in deeper states of connection to intimate moments, encourages individuals to address the emotional barriers that impede healthy sexual connection and expression. Beautiful, so beautiful. So after having my son 18 months ago, I've really struggled with just getting back in touch with me, back in touch with my body as, I guess, as a woman, as opposed to a baby making machine and, you know, the mum needs of your baby. So I found it really hard to step back into just being a wife in my body, within myself. And so these oils have really helped me. Now, my husband won't tell you they've helped me because he's not getting laid every day still. But they emotionally have helped me a lot to start to shed some of the, you know, some of the stuff that we tell ourselves and some of the blocks, some of the challenges that I had around, you know, being really vulnerable, having a baby in front of someone. Anyway, neroli is like the most incredible smell. Let's put it on and I'll report back tomorrow whether my husband gets lucky. He can report back to you. I'm surprised he's not on here. So I love to mix with jasmine. So I'm just putting that on my pulse points. You can put that behind your neck. You can actually rub it between your legs, like just between your thighs, on your belly, anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Over your heart is a really nice one. Like to rub it between your breasts and kind of give a massage. It's really beautiful. So jasmine is a really beautiful perfume. I'll rub some neroli down there. This is kind of how I wear my perfume. I literally just like roll it all over myself. Smells amazing. Now for hormone support, mood management, kind of on your period, off your period, just the cycles of our nature, neroli is amazing, absolutely amazing. So mamas, neroli is an incredible oil that I would recommend you get. It's not that expensive either, which is really beautiful. I've had that since October, and as you can see, I actually use it a lot, but it's only up to there. My rose is down to here. So I will go through a rose at least 2 bottles a year So like, yes, it's $100, but I was spending $200 on a bottle of perfume that I was going through in 3 months. It's no different. So that's those two. I thought I would share with you magnesium oil. You can buy this from the health food shop. This is what I put my Ice Blue or Aroma Touch in, and I then massage it on my legs. I get restless legs a lot, so that's really beautiful. So this is magnesium oil. Is quite it's a bit greasy, if you like. It's quite tingling on the skin, but it is an incredible way. So topical application yields a way better result than taking like supplements. So if you are magnesium deficient, you should get some spray. So that's my favorite, way to use like Ice Blue or Aroma Touch on your legs and stuff. And I wanted to talk about this really special oil. So interestingly, Susan asked a question around perfumes. So we have an oil called Hope. You've probably seen this because I've posted about it a little bit lately, and I'm going to read to you some information. I posted this up in my Business Builders group yesterday. Some really beautiful. Here it is. Okay, so in this beautiful roller is bergamot, ylang ylang, frankincense, and vanilla. So it's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly calming. So bergamot is the oil of self-acceptance. Ylang ylang is the oil of the inner child, and frankincense is the oil of truth, and it will help the user feel loved, protected, and connected. So this oil actually was produced for children who are experiencing sex trafficking. So you'll know that doTERRA partner with a company called OUR Rescue, which is Operation Underground Railroad. It's headed up by an incredibly handsome man named Tim Ballard. I've shared some videos around them recently, and I will continue to do so. So most of you all know that my last 10 years have been spent in child protection work, and there's a number of you in this group who are also of that vein, and so I know that this is incredibly special to us, but I don't know a person on the planet who wouldn't want to protect children from sex trafficking regardless of what country they come from. So this original blend used to have a different label on it, and it was handed out to these beautiful children overseas, and when they peeled the label back, it had some phone numbers on it. Phone numbers that they could reach out to keep them safe. And they did a special time order for this, and then everyone wanted it, so doTERRA reproduced it and put a different label on it, and we've started selling it. So this sells for $26. It's I think it's $20 US in the US store. When you purchase it, all $26 goes straight to OUR. So it's an incredible gift. We, doTERRA Australia, will have Healing Hands here in Australia very soon. So in the US, you'll know when you go to make an order, you can actually donate money directly to Healing Hands Foundation. So that's doTERRA's own not-for-profit arm, and it's that arm that then kind of works with all these partners. So but to go directly to OUR, you need to purchase a bottle of Hope or a bottle of the rose cream. So And I know a number of beautiful advocates have put out a request to customers and for themselves to put a bottle of hope on your order for every single month, or for every single month that you can. So you might have a friend's birthday coming up. What a beautiful gift. Mother's Day is coming up. You might want to give one to your mum. You might want to give one to your nan or your neighbour. Christmas, Easter, those sorts of things. I know Suze in the group donated 3 bottles to her son's school's Easter raffle, and it was the only non-chocolate gift. Like, oh my gosh. So if you want a perfume, this is incredible. It's really beautiful. I haven't actually worn it for a while because I've been wearing other stuff, but I must come back to it. I'm just going to layer myself with everything tonight. Beautiful. So what I will share is that Operation Underground Railroad rescues to date. In 2014, they had 12 jumps. In 2015, they had 20. In 2016, they had 38. 600 victims have been rescued, 250 perpetrators arrested, and they're working in 13 different countries. So they have a 6-step process. They assess the feasibility of a rescue. They research the location, the children, and the background of those who are running the sex ring. They design a strategy for rescuing the children. They take action, they recover the children, and then they arrest, try, and convict the perpetrators. So that's what your money is going directly to, which is just, it's mind-blowing, to be honest. Okay, we've been going for 35 minutes. Okay, let's chat about perfumes. It doesn't look like anyone has any questions. Shelley, all good, arrived super fast. Going to save for a diffuser now. Yes. Clean the aircon with Easy Air. Yes. Oh my gosh, Shelley, how about bloody aircons? I did bring this out because I wanted to share this with everyone. So this is the new Lumo. So as you can see, the cord goes in at the bottom here. Now, I bought this last year from America, so mine came with an American cord. I used to have an Aroma Bloom from Lively Living, and I'd actually just used their cord because the diffuser's sitting up here on my bench. I thought it was amazing, and then it just kind of, I don't know, I stopped loving it. I will actually slowly over time replace all of the diffusers in our house with these ones. This is the best diffuser I've used. I've got 2 from Lively Living, 2 from doTERRA, and I've had a couple of other ones, and this is amazing. So you can see you fill the water up to here, so it's a much bigger tank than the Petal. You know, it kind of goes that far. So this has a 2-hour continuous setting, so it's great for, you know, sleep, study, that sort of stuff. It's got a 5-hour continuous setting, so that's also perfect for sleep. Like, you really don't need it on kind of all night. It does have a 10-hour intermittent setting, so it's a 5-minute cycle. So it goes on for 5 minutes, it turns off for 5 minutes. There's 10 different colors, and you can have it off. So what I love about this though, this probably sounds really silly, but see where the spout is? So most diffusers, the spout's in the middle, or whichever side it is, it shoots up. So normally it just comes straight up, yeah? And then it kind of goes up and it, I don't know, does whatever it does. So if you have it near a window, it's going to shoot in the direction of the window. So I actually never ever use my diffuser in bed because we've got a huge bedroom, and I found that I could never actually smell the oils. So I just got into the habit of putting it on my temples and dropping it on my pillows. Then I found this diffuser, and so you'll see that it's shaped. So it actually shoots in the direction that you point it. So if I actually shoot it at me, So this sits on my bedside table like this, and it shoots directly at me. So I actually feel like it's coming onto me. I never ever use the 10-hour setting, to be honest. But if I was using this at home over winter with like your On Guard or your Easy Air, then that 10-hour setting would be amazing, because you could just pop it on all day if you had a bit of a chest, cough or something. But again, at night, you just need little bursts. So, if you were a bit congested or something, sometimes I'll put the 10-hour setting on and I pop a bit of Easy Air in with my lavender, and then I use that. It's got a really good reach, this one. So my petals, as you can see, we've got a really open plan house. So I have one in the kitchen. We have one in my son's room. We have one in our room. I have one that normally sits just up there, but it's actually in my car boot from my classes. I have one that sits here on my desk. Yeah, we have a few, just a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 sitting, just sitting around doing stuff, and then we've got one that we tend to move around. Because I kind of got over having to move them around. So this diffuser, I don't even know how much it is. I think it's about $100. Compared to the petal, it's obviously, close to double the cost, but you get double the length of time. It is plastic, so I would love doTERRA to invest in some glass ones, or ceramic or something that's a bit better for the environment, but isn't plastic. But this is a favorite of mine. The Aroma Bloom that I have and swore by for kind of the first few months that I used oils is dearer than that. It's about 130 or something. And it has the same. I bought it because I had a 10-hour setting. Wish list item number 2. What's number 1, babe? What's your wish list? And do you have questions? Shelley and Shona, do either of you have questions? So Sue's wanted to know about making perfumes. I'm going to share this link in the comments. Blending perfumes. This is a blog post by my beautiful mentor Alice Nichols, which talks about blending characteristics. So essential oils are classified by their notes or scent characteristics. So an essential oil is described as either a top note, a middle note, or a base note. So top notes are the ones that evaporate very fast and typically have antiviral properties. They tend to be light, fresh, and uplifting in nature and are usually inexpensive. So quite often they're your citrus oils. The top notes are highly volatile, fast-acting, and give the first impression. So I was at my girlfriend's on the weekend when I was up in Cairns, and we made a did we make a spritzer or a roller? I can't remember. I think it was a roller of Balance and Orange. And I also was showing her my perfume. This is Whisper and Grapefruit. Now, when you smell this, the first thing you smell is grapefruit, because grapefruit is a top note. So generally when you smell a blend, if there's a citrus oil in there, it's the oil that you'll smell first, but it evaporates quickly and it dissipates, and then you start to smell some of those heavier oils. So the middle notes, which are the bulk of essential oils, are considered to be the middle notes. So they normally give the body to the blend and have a balancing effect. So the aroma of the middle note is not always immediately evident when you smell, and it can take a couple minutes to establish. So these are normally the warm, soft fragrances. So your top notes are things like bergamot, cinnamon, clary sage, eucalyptus, grapefruit, lemon, lemongrass, lime, mandarin, tangerine, neroli, orange, peppermint, petitgrain, sage, spearmint, tangerine. I think tangerine was in there twice. Tea tree, etc. Your middle notes, so those ones that are going to kind of be the bulk of the aroma: black pepper, cardamom, chamomile, cypress, fennel, geranium, hoe leaf, hoe wood, juniper, lavender, marjoram, melissa, myrtle. I'm so excited for lemon myrtle. Nutmeg, Palma rosa, which we don't have. I'm dying for. Spikenard, rosemary. So if you had, you know, if you imagine that you had kind of one from each category, and then your base notes, they are the essential oils that are heavy and their fragrance is really solid. So I think you would know what these are. I'm talking like frankincense, myrrh, vetiver, like they're your thick, heavy, sappy oils. So these fragrances are normally intense. They're rich and relaxing in nature, and they're typically the most expensive of oils. These are the ones that are present for a long time and slow down the evaporation of the other oils. So when you're making a perfume, I made the assumption that she actually told us how to do this. So what you want is oils from each category. So you want less of the top notes, mostly the middle notes, and then a bit of, so you kind of would, you know, do a bit from each. So I will pop up a bit of a guide and a bit of a recipe around how you could make a bit of a perfume. So let's say if you had 20 drops, you might do 10 drops of your middle note. You might do like 5 of your top note, 1 to 2 of your base note or something like that, because they're quite heavy. Your top notes are going to smell quickly and evaporate. So you kind of want to, so what I do when I'm making perfume, and this is really interesting. Actually, Nikki asked me a while ago to smell Manuka Copaiba. She wanted to make a blend up and she didn't have some of the oils. Let me see if I can find it. We can do a group sniff and then I will hop off and let you all go to bed. Actually, I think she texted it to me, which I can't say that I've actually done. I'm not going to be able to find it now. Sorry, gang. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments and I'll go through them before I hop off. Here, geranium, copaiba, and manuka. So geranium. Oh, I don't actually think I've got any copaiba, manuka here. It's in my... So if I wanted to make a perfume with geranium and copaiba and let's say tangerine, what I would do is I would sniff them up together. So you want to hold them up together and you want to smell. I don't know that I'd want to make a perfume out of geranium, copaiba, and tangerine, just saying. So copaiba is very strong. It smells like, someone asked me the other day, it reminds me of like alcohol. Like it's it's heavy. It's really strong. Let's just look up and see what copaiba is the oil for emotionally. Just wondering why I'm repelled from that a bit. It's the oil of unveiling. It invites individuals to connect with their past, a deep entwining energy that links experience to experience to unveil the deeper meaning and messages showing up in one's life. Respects the sacred sheltered within until it's ready to emerge in the light. There you go. I've never actually, I don't consume copaiba, but that's what I do. I smell all 3 and then I decide whether that's an aroma that I like. I like to just intuitively do it. I don't tend to worry too much about the top, base, etc. But what I do find is that I often am drawn to picking one from each category. So I probably, like, I really love frankincense. That's often in my perfumes and body massage, you know, aromatic dressing combos. I tend to always choose a top note anyway, like a citrusy type oil or a floral oil. And then, you know, depending on kind of what else I might choose. So you just want to have a play. You just want to have a bit of play and then mix up a roller and just keep going. Oh, that copaiba in the mouth is not real nice, guys. It pretty much tastes as bad as it smells. Okay, let me just check now. Okay, so I'm going to do two things before I hop off. I'm going to pull a card because Chloe, one of the beautiful girls in our group, requested today some ideas for an oracle card set. Manuka is your number one. Will be adding to my LRP for April. Amazing. You could just get it on your own, honey. And in fact, you're having a class on the weekend. It'll pay for your Manuka. Amazing. It might even pay for Manuka and a Lumo if you're lucky. Invite the right people. Oh, maybe that should have been the cards. I feel like this one's jumping out. Truth be told, number 14. So Chloe, this is one of my favorite card decks. It looks like this, and it's got the most incredible artwork. This is what it's called. It's a Colette Baron Reed deck. And we're going to read about the card we just pulled. So this is a message for everyone. My favorite thing about this is there's lots of different messages. 14, 17. So it gives you an essential meaning, an oracle reading, but then you can choose between the relationship, prosperity, or protection message, depending on what your question or your... So sometimes I just read the oracle message. So that's what we'll do tonight. So the essential meaning of the card is honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, and clarity of communication. There is the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there is a truth, subjective according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and within yourself. Nothing less than surrender is what is. Nothing less than surrender to what is. Peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied to an illusion will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and spirit will answer with miracles. Chloe, babe, that's a message particularly for you. Okay, gang, if there are no more questions, not that there really was any, I've just talked to you for over an hour because I can and it's fun. I will jump off. I'll just wait a minute or so just in case anyone's typing. Is there something you would like to hear about next week? Is there a special can't even talk. Is there a special training or online class you would like to see? I will do one very soon as we lead into the winter months, probably coming into April, around winter wellness. But if there's other things that are on the top of your list, please let us know because we will schedule them in. Okay. I think we can call it. Happy Eve, loves. Thanks for tuning in, Shona and Amanda and Shelley. And for those of you watching the